Hey
Yeah.
everyone, welcome to Subway Talk. This is our first ever episode. We're trying to kick this off and be able to share in a fun way some of the important stuff happening in Subway, especially locally here in Southern California. My name is Kevin McDaniel, and my co-host here is Aziza. Welcome, Aziza.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. Kevin, it's good to see you face to face. It's been a while. What is going on with that hair?
Well, I missed my barber appointment before all this shutdown happened, and now I'm stuck with my wife threatening to do braids. So this
I was
is,
going to say that thing is going to be longer than my hair by the time this is over.
yeah, I'm about ready to take some scissors and do something with this, as bad as it might seem. But, as our emojis here show, I can always throw on a hat, right?
Oh my God. Last night I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Guys, it's one of my favorite shows. It's hysterical. And Captain Holt, his husband, his name is Kevin. And he's a redhead like you. And he's tall and skinny like you. And he has a beard like you.
So what are you trying to say? All Kevins are tall and skinny and have
Redheaded, yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I think I know plenty of Kevins without reddish hair.
Name one off the top of your head.
Kevin Ozias. Kevin.
I don't know who that is, so I can't verify that.
Yeah, exactly.
You made him up.
At least in your world, everyone that's named Kevin is tall and reddish hair ish.
I'll take that. But so guys, hey, you tell them that this is going to be our weekly podcast. This is something fun we're going to be doing for them.
Yeah, let's get down into the business. I mean, do you have your mask? Because I thought I heard you coughing earlier, and want to make sure I'm social distancing properly from you.
All right, I'm not going to give it to you over the phone, okay? And I've been social distancing. I've been wearing my mask.
Perfect.
Wearing gloves. People look at me like
I could put my mask down. I don't have any risk of catching anything.
Yeah. So, right. In the stores yesterday, I was so proud of everybody had masks on, or they had the plexiglass, or they had the X's on the floors. It was pretty impressive.
That's great. I mean, that's some of the stuff we're going to talk about today. We just want to make sure everyone out there is following the simple social distancing steps and procedures that we've sent out to everybody, because it's for not only the guest safety, but it's also for our own employee safety, and we've got to make them feel safe while they're working in the store. So we've got a lot of interesting topics to discuss today, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun talking about the COVID safety, but even more fun talking about NPS and surveys. It's one of my favorite topics.
Yes, I know you and I were discussing this off camera, but a lot of franchisees have been reaching out to us, still wanting to engage in those things, making sure they're keeping their numbers up, especially with all of the remote orders that are coming in. That seems to be the biggest complaints I'm seeing, is just inaccurate orders. Some of the silly stuff we've been kind of talking about for some time. So hopefully we can get back to those basics and meeting the customer expectations.
We have to, because if we slip right now because it's slow, it's going to be harder when we get back to normal, and we are going to get back to normal.
Definitely, we're definitely going to get back to normal. I think it's important to show everyone we gotta keep calm. Right, we got to stay safe out there, and we're gonna share some best practices to help everyone do that. As we talk through it, and discuss some of the things we're seeing in the field and hearing about in the field. Just keep everyone positive. I mean, this is gonna eventually end, and we'll get back to normal-ish activities when it ends. Right.
I think we're going to be stronger than ever, to be honest. I mean, our teams have been such great fighters through all this. Like, I think they're heroes. I mean, our nurses and our doctors, our firefighters are out there, but don't forget our Subway sandwich artists, our managers, the grocery store clerks, they're out there too. And we need to give them the credit that they deserve.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, when I'm talking to people, the positivity that comes out, I expected, I guess, a lot of the calls to be, grief stricken, very sad and depressed, but it's amazing how positive people are out there. And I think that not only keeps me positive, to share and spread that positivity, but just know that, like you said, we're going to be way better off after this is over.
Yeah, I mean, it's nobody's fault. Who could have expected in 2020 this is how it would be?
I don't think anyone could have expected that. So
I celebrated my birthday at home in my bed.
Definitely. So let's get into our first segment here. We're calling it COVID Corner, where we can share some best practices like store visibility, social distancing, and the employee protection. So what are some of the best practices that you're seeing in the field?
My favorite one so far has been keeping the doors open for many reasons. I know some people are like, oh, the flies. It's not fly season. It's not hot outside. But it's my favorite thing because people don't want to touch door handles right now. They don't want to touch anything. And keeping that door open shows that your store is actually open. And it shows that you understand what's going on and you're helping make guests feel comfortable so they don't have to grab the door open and close it every time. And I'm seeing that not just with our stores, but UPS, other QSRs like Carl's and McDonald's. And I think it's just a good way for everybody to feel safe and for people driving by, walking by to see, oh, they're open. There's not just a bunch of signs posted.
Yeah, exactly. I think anything that people can do, we've shared so many best practices, but a lot of the effort should be around trying to showcase that the business is still open. I think a lot of people, and we're even seeing it in some of the comments that we're getting through Subway Listens, that a lot of guests didn't realize we were open. Yeah. So any way that we can share that is going to really help bring business to the stores. We understand sales are down, business is down a lot, but any little thing that you can do to help is going to help increase that visibility so people come in.
It's time to think outside the box,
Definitely. I've had people request sending a sign spinner out to the street. They bust out the old Subway logo and
nice.
Say, hey, can I do this? I'm like, why wouldn't you? If you have someone there, an extra person, we understand there's a lot of single shifting and this may not be an option everywhere, but if you have someone and you can get them out there and increase the visibility and you think it's going to help, why not try it?
Subman, dun 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 dun.
Subman, get out there, shake it a little bit, do some dance moves. You won't see me in one of those. I don't know about you, but
I would totally be Subwoman. I got no problem.
I'm just gonna blame it on my height that I'm not gonna fit in the suit.
I told you, Kevin's tall and redhead. That's the case.
Yeah, that's my excuse. I don't fit. So what about social distancing? What are some of the things and best practices? I think a lot of the stores are starting to put up that acrylic or plastic panels, right, in the stores.
Yeah. I did notice that when I was in the field, the floors having those X's or red tape or paper, I think that really helps because subconsciously, if you're not paying attention, you will catch yourself being in a line shorter than 6 feet because it's normal. So having those there are good reminders, not just for your team, but for the customers and the guests to be like, oh man, let me back up. Let me protect myself.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people even started putting up signs on the door that say mask are required when you enter the premises, something to that effect. So, I think this is going to be a social norm once this is over and for a period of time after, and we're going to have to get used to wear a mask for some time. But, the I guess main point of this conversation is just to ensure that you have it top of mind constantly. Wash your hands, wear your protection, keep your distance, do what you think is going to keep you safe.
There's no right or wrong. You just got to do it. I mean, I need a new one. Have you seen mine? It has makeup all over it.
Well, that just means you're using it, right?
Well, yeah, I have to protect myself. I got to be here for our teams.
Exactly. You gotta protect yourself and everyone else around you. You protecting yourself is also protecting others, at least from what I've read.
True. Okay.
So what do we have going on here, Aziza?
So this was from my tours. I wanted to get a good picture of shops actually having the door open, having their open for takeout and delivery cling. posted only. But as I was driving around, I saw so many more banners being posted from our competitors. And what I'm thinking is maybe the cities are not as stringent on the no banner policy because there's a lot of banners out right now everywhere. I think the cities and the lounge are a little more forgiving because people are trying to put the word out. We're open, come see us. And I really liked this Carl's Jr. one. I was driving, so it's not a good angle. I was at a red light, I was stopped. But I think if you guys have banners, I think we should put them up just to be like, hey, we're here. Don't forget about us. Whatever you need, we're open. I thought that was kind of, especially when it said for the community, that kind of touched me a little bit with all that's going on.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, Subway in a lot of stores and in all of our territories have been doing such a great job with the philanthropy side of things, right? We've been donating to hospitals, always been doing a lot of wonderful things to also improve that visibility and show our healthcare workers that we're here and we're open, we're able to provide a fresh, healthy meal. So, unlike our competitors that, yeah, they're open for the community, but Subway is unique because we can do it in a different, fresh and healthy way.
The masses. I mean, most people don't eat at Subway, right? They get it to go. We have the delivery aspect, and we have the app. And we can make bulk faster than our competitors. It's just nice to see the restaurant community coming together.
Yeah, definitely. And our product too, it also travels well, right? I mean, if you get a cheeseburger to go, 10 minutes later, it's not going to be hot. It's not going to taste as good. Whereas, a freshly made sub, likely a cold,
yeah,
it tastes good, long time thereafter. So yeah, it's great. I mean, good examples of what's going on. And, as we talk more about safety, Ziza made a great video about hand washing. You guys should watch that when you have a chance. But it's just very important to constantly remind yourselves, we talk about coming out of this greater than we ever had before. I think our hand washing skills and practices are going to be so far advanced than they've ever been, just because we're so used to washing our hands constantly. We got to be conscious of not touching our face, sneezing into, we got to dab it, if you will, when we're sneezing. There you go. Ziza's got it. And doing this stuff is really going to protect everybody.
Make sure you have lots of lotion and sanitizer, because my hands are so cracked from all that hand washing.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, we just wanted to mention that briefly, but sanitation applies to a lot of different things, whether that's washing dishes properly, sanitizing, using the proper sanitizer. I think we have that even here on the next screen for you guys.
Just because we're not doing dining right now doesn't mean we shouldn't still sanitize the dining room. There's dust, people are walking in and out. That's just one thing I did notice when I was in the field. I know it's hard because we are single shifting, but it's not even about keeping it safe for the guests. It's you guys are in the stores before opening, after close. Be safe. Use your test strips. If you don't know how, we can share a video with you.
Yep, definitely. We'll definitely put anything together that anyone watching this is going to find helpful. So let's get into this other segment. This has really been a big question maker. As we started sending out communication about this, there's a lot of great stuff on the feed. So if you're not regularly looking at the feed, please do. That's updated almost on a daily basis, with updates to things like shelf life, how to actually go in and program, whatever you want to stay updated with regards to operations during COVID-19. All that stuff is on the feed. So this thing we just wanted to discuss briefly together because I get a lot of questions about, okay, when I first heard about this, I thought it was automatic. Then I noticed it wasn't happening. And then I started getting calls of people that published, and then it took away things that they actually want to ring up. One of the big things that happens and that people don't realize is you can't even ring these things up because it actually removes the button from the POS. So you've actually got to go back in there and or move it onto the POS screen so you can actually ring it up.
You have to add the pricing too on the third-party delivery because it zeroes it out. So, I mean, just be careful on your next publish and make sure that if you do publish, you go back in and add those items because these are some big sellers.
Yeah, even like things like sliders, that's something that's a frozen product. You thaw it quickly. It's something that, can easily still be sold. Why headquarters decided to pull that one, is outside of our span of control. But, if you really want to continue to sell something like the sliders or roast beef for the Subway Club, you've definitely got to go back into Menu Manager and add that back. Also, make sure you go into the catering admin portal or any of the other Grubhub is not automatic, right? Because you have to manually go in there and remove or add those things because it's not integrated yet.
And just remember to, you know how we're doing Subway groceries? When you do your POS to add those items to be able to ring them in, you're gonna have to go back and add these items again too, because when you publish, because you added, they're gonna be R&M items, you're gonna publish and then these are gonna be removed. So
yeah, then we're probably going to get phone calls saying, hey, I don't know what happened to my roast beef, and we're going to remind them of the email we sent out, and it's fine, we're used to that, but we just wanted to make everyone aware. As soon as you publish and you haven't published before and you've been fine up to this point, if you decide to do the Subway grocery and then you publish those updates for the programming, it's probably going to remove these things and you'll have to go back in there again, add them, and publish again. So just a fair warning, not too difficult, but a little inconvenient. And always remember, Aziza, if they have any issues, help desk, I believe, is still free, isn't it?
They're free indefinitely.
Yes.
Finally.
So I know this is a big topic for you.
I love this topic because I am so proud of my franchisees and teams that we actually were number 4 as of Friday and came back up as the territory number 1 as of yesterday. However, 79% is the lowest we've ever been in the history of my career with Subway. And I was so shocked because we're getting less traffic. So it's more of a, hi, here's your order. Have a great day. Please do our survey type thing. And we're getting more complaints. I was like, oh no, what are we going to do?
Yeah, I think part of the, so 2 big issues that come to mind is one, hours weren't being updated, right? So we were having orders come in, they were being canceled, or they couldn't be fulfilled because the store was closed or closed earlier, and then hours weren't updated. So all that should be fixed at this point. Franchisees know they can go onto the feed and control their own hours on all the e-commerce sites. So that's an easy fix.
Kevin.
Yes.
Don't forget, I was driving by a store yesterday. Employees are closing early and nobody's knowing. There's 15, 20 minutes early. That could have been 2 remote orders.
You know what? I have seen that too. And when I've seen those complaints and I've reached out to franchisees, the hours have been updated, but
yes.
Decisions are being made to close the stores early because we've been slower. So if that's the case, we need to go into the feed and update that day, right? So if there's a decision made, we can't just close that second. We've maybe got to wait an hour or so before.
So for the app, 15 minutes. So usually, as soon as you find out for the app, put it in about 15 to 20 minutes, it'll be updated. Unfortunately, third party, 24 hours still.
Yeah, so that's definitely something people need to be conscious of when they make those decisions, because it's leading to those complaints that the store's not open. The second thing is, and maybe everyone's not aware, that we can kind of talk through some of the big changes that Subway Listens has made as far as how or the choices the customer makes on ranking a store, right? That's changed from 3 choices to now 5.
Yeah. It was, our regular key drivers and our likelihood to recommend. And then they now added a how satisfied were you with the Subway, which is the score that they're going to be going off of. So it is a little confusing, but now we're in line with all of the other restaurants surveyed.
Our competitors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, one of the biggest things for me, and I don't know if you have this issue, is people don't call the guests if something's wrong, if they're out of something, something happened. Nobody calls. They just let them show up.
Yeah, they show up and those items that they may not have had in stock are just not on the sandwich, and they just let the customer walk away, and then the customer gets home and no one did anything. They're just especially avocado, that was the biggest one, right? When we stopped having the ability to sell avocado, no one went in there, or not everybody went in there to remove that. And so people were still ordering it, and of course it wasn't available.
Put guacamole on the bread and then mash.
There you go. Just get some guacamole on there. It looks just like avocado.
It's something.
Yeah, it's some kind of substitute, right?
I'd rather get that than nothing and nobody tell me anything or call me, you know.
Right.
But you know,
So we understand. I mean, it's easy to sit here and
keep it
talk
up.
about it, right? That, we need to call the guest. We understand there's one person working, and
Yes.
we've seen the silly complaints too, where a customer comes to pick up the remote order, but the employee is saying, "Well, I have to help these customers that are lining up in the store." But we got to go back to the basics and understand that receipt that comes out is the next customer in line, and they shouldn't have to wait.
And you know what? If you just tell customers about it, be like, hey, you know, we have an app, you get free stuff, you get rewards. Just bear with me. I got to treat it like the next person in line. While you're waiting, why don't you download the app and get points? That
Hey, that would
they don't
convince
even know
me.
it.
If I can get some points, I might do that.
Heck yeah. My birthday was Sunday. I got a free burger at Red Robin, a free Jamba Juice from Jamba. I got $5 off at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I got $15 off at Kabuki. Mind you, I didn't go anywhere.
That was my next question. That must have been a bar hopping party.
I wish.
Bar hopping at Jamba Juice. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I quarantined, so I was like, you know.
I hear you. Definitely ruined some.
I gotta be the smarty pants person I am. Why aren't you on this list, bro? Like.
Right. So we have some numbers here, and other territories are doing pretty good in the 70s still. I think for some of the issues that we've been experiencing, I know I've seen a lot of positive comments in the comments section, but then the guests will say highly dissatisfied. So there's a little bit of a conflict there. Perhaps a guest doesn't understand how to complete their survey properly because it's new. We have a lot of customers that were completing the survey consistently, and maybe they're just not used to the new format yet. But there's one territory missing on here, and I don't even want to name or mention the score, but it's so low, it's embarrassing and disappointing. So Riverside, where's my finger? You gotta step it up. I mean, this is definitely not the performance we're used to seeing from Riverside. So
we just gotta promote. A lot of people aren't promoting like they were. Don't lose the normals. Stay the course, do what you were doing before so you don't fall back and have to retrain.
Agreed, definitely.
So.
All right, so what else we got? What other topics we got today?
Fun and POP?
POP. So as everyone knows, I did get a couple questions about this, and it's good some of you know your dates and know that window 3 was supposed to start this last week. But we've sent out communication to vary or limit the material that customers see. So no window 3 POP should be up right now, right?
None. Just open for takeout and delivery as far as window clings, and nothing has changed. Keep your boxes safe. Don't let anybody throw them out.
Yep, because it's likely this promotion will start again. There's some value menus that are in those boxes that the company was going to promote heavily. So we definitely want to keep that stuff. Don't throw it away. And there's been a lot of big announcements about Subway Grocery and its availability and ability to add more sales and profits to the store. So if you're going to do that I guess would be the only other sign that you can have up, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Very excited. We got a plug the one thing that you're very passionate about too, and that's third-party delivery. So we got a few
love third-party
stores that
delivery.
still need to sign up.
There are, and if you are not sure, you can reach out to your ops manager, which would be Jocelyn in San Diego, Kevin in his area, and of course myself, and we can help you get set up or find out if you're eligible. We just don't want anybody to miss out on sales.
Don't forget Moises if they're watching this.
Huh?
Don't forget Moises if they're watching this in Houston.
Moises, I'm sorry, I did forget you, but he'll be able to help you. My apologies.
Yes. We're here to help. I mean, that's the point of
That's
us, right? Is we're here to help with anything you guys need, and there's just such a good time to make sure you're signed up for all these platforms, because it's increased so dramatically as far as the volume coming through the stores compared to standard traditional sales.
Oh yeah, and people are getting sick of cooking.
I know I am. I got a little one that I've got to feed 3 times a day, so
see,
it's easier just to order sometimes.
But I mean, anything you guys need, we're here. This is our weekly podcast that we're going to be doing. If you have any topics or any information you want to know about, let us know. Make sure you like our video on YouTube and subscribe. Oh my God, where did you get that? We do want to thank you for everything that you do. It's so difficult right now. It's heartbreaking, but you guys are resilient, and just focus on your sales and keeping the basics brilliant. You like that, huh?
Couldn't have said it any better. Well, it's good to see you, Aziza. We'll see you next week.
Hopefully you have a haircut by then.
Or I'll just put a hat on.
Cut your hair.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Signing out. Bye.